energy, you're going to get to what perpetual really means. Well, I mean, it's clear, right? Perpetual. So I ask you, perpetual slave, since we have documentation proving that the Negro is in perpetual slavery, signed by the Pope in 1452, this is your recent history. When the fuck are you going to wake up and get the fuck out? Are you going to leave it up to your children to figure out that they're in perpetual servitude? At what point did migration become some type of crazy concept when you research your own migration patterns? Now we say migrate. We say, leave work? Slave, get the fuck up and get out. Go home. Assemble yourselves. Remember yourselves. Heal in the wilderness. Heal. Out of the man-made environments, go heal yourselves. If you're old, it's time to live. If you're young, let go. We read it in Isaiah 43. We understand what the barren lands are going to become right before our eyes. Now you have to make a choice, right? Red pill, blue pill. You want to go back to sleep? How do you want to play this? How do you want to play this information? How do you want to play this drop? You want to go back to Betty Bye-Bye? You want to go back to sleep in the illusion of seclusion? You want to be a Christian? You want to be a Muslim? You don't want to pretend that the Vatican invented all? That they don't have the reputation of it all? How do you want to play this? My battery. The brother's doing phenomenal. He is lighting the fire to the liar of this 4th of July. You want independence, motherfuckers? You want independence? Stay tuned. Hold on, man. Let go.
Let's take this shit up.
Let go.
Walk with me. Walk with me.
No.
Perpetual. Mid-14th century from old French perpetual without end. No. No way. Without an end. What the fuck are they saying? What are they saying? Servitude without an end. Now, why is this important? Why in the frick did he just open up the dumbed out verses? Because I got a gift. I have a gift.
Drop it.
You people of the promise. Some might say you're a Muslim. People of the promise, of the covenant. Some might say you're a Muslim. Are you a Muslim? You don't even know that name. You wouldn't even recognize it. It's not your title, but you know you're a people of a promise, right? You know you're the people of a promise. No. They're going to keep us in a never-ending servitude to them? They're not. This is where the present comes in. Now, I did a video, and I told you that we call, as long as we allow ourselves to be labeled and continue to call ourselves Black, African American, or Negro, we're going to be in this never-ending servitude. Now, why? Here comes the gift. We're going to start here. We're going to start right here. I want everybody, after they watch this video, to ask a few questions to yourself, and then start searching. Okay? Independence. Look at this, man. Look at this awesome man. Yeah. What's this? The Great Whore. Holding it good, right? Isn't that what that is?
It's my founding fathers.
America has been at war 93% of the time. 222 out of 239 years since 1776. The U.S. has only been at peace for 21 years total since its conception or birth. It birthed itself. So we got maritime law and everything else ruling this country.
Founding fathers. We want to take it back to the founding fathers. Alex Jones. Founding fathers. William L. Founding fathers. All they can do is take it back to the founding father with the documentation all over to show that the founding fathers were invaded. Can nobody argue that you've been invaded on? Can nobody argue that you are a prisoner of war? And what comes with being being a prisoner of war?
That's right. Come on, man. In 2011, Daniels wrote, "Below, I have reproduced a year-by-year timeline of America's wars, which reveals something quite interesting. Since the United States was founded in 1776, she has been at war during 214 out of her 235 calendar years of existence. In other words, there were only 21 calendar years in which the United States did not wage any wars. I wonder why. To put this in perspective, pick any year since 1776, and there is about a 91% chance that America was involved in some war during that calendar year. Why is that important? That's where the president comes in. Come on, walk with me. No U.S. president truly qualifies as a peacetime president. Let me read that one more time. No United States president truly qualifies as a peacetime president. No United States president truly qualifies as a peacetime president. What does that mean? Instead, all U.S. presidents can technically be considered war presidents. What? War? What does that mean? The U.S. has never gone a decade without war. The only time the U.S. went 5 years without war was 1935 through 1940, was during the isolationist period of the Great Depression. Here's a graphic depiction of United States wars. Calendar years the U.S. has been at war since 1776. And here's the year-by-year timeline of America's major wars. Year-by-year timeline of America's major wars, 1776 to 2011. And we're still in war today. 1776, American Revolutionary War. Chickamauga Wars. Chickamauga Wars. Second Cherokee War. Pennamite Yankee War. Y'all figuring this out yet? Don't worry about it. We're going to get there. American Revolutionary War, Chickamauga War, Second Cherokee War, Pennamite Yankee War, 78 American Revolutionary War, 79 American Revolutionary War, 80 American Revolutionary War, 81 American Revolutionary War, 82 American Revolutionary War. Listen, they've been at war with your ass the whole
Activate. This is a real serious situation we have here. When you find out that the corporation or the London company or the Plymouth company, one, you think you're a citizen of a corporation that's owned by a corporation. So the London company owns the corporation. So you're a citizen of a corporation owned by a corporation. Guys, you gotta give these guys some fucking applause, man. I mean, they really did it. Oh, the sorcery. Oh, I can't stomach the genius. The evil genius. The twistedness. But now we can just look at it for what it is, and no one can deny it. I mean, they've been at war with you since the beginning, so that means they must be at war with you in the end. Can I back it up one time for your mind? Man, let's get it. That's why the true king. Real talk, man. Now you see already, we're 16 minutes in. This belongs in the Drive Hall of Fame. And look how he does his dismount. He's going to Nadia Comaneci this thing. Oh, man, I can't be prouder of this brother. On real spill, real time. Right up on your face bone. Take it like that. And don't look back.
1776. And here's the year-by-year timeline of America's major wars. Year-by-year timeline of America's major wars, 1776 to 2011. And we're still in war today. 1776, American Revolutionary War, Chickamauga Wars, Chickamauga Wars, Second Cherokee War, Pennamite Yankee War. Y'all figure this out yet? Don't worry about it. We're going to get there. American Revolutionary War.
And we just read the annals of the Cachiquel. Chickamauga. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. bald-headed sizes. Every time you see this is all Negro, 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 except you're not Negro, right? They're giving you titles, man. I mean, you never heard this stuff before. This might be closer to what you actually might be. You're getting warmer. Get off the Negro. Check that box, American Indian. Check something, but don't check black, don't check African American. You just giving it all up. Then you're saying you're not the people that they were fighting, when in reality you are. Let go.
War, Chickamauga War, Second Cherokee War, Pennamite Yankee War, 78 American Revolutionary War, 79 American Revolutionary War, 80 American Revolutionary War, 81 American Revolutionary War, 82 American Revolutionary War. Listen, they've been at war with your ass the whole time. I want you to understand this. Look at what the fuck I'm showing you, people. Please focus. Focus. Since 1776, they have been at war with you, right? The war never ended. It never ended. They got clever. And started changing names. If I change the name and I take their history from them, they won't realize that I'm at war with them. They won't never figure this shit out.
Damn.
Right?
Damn.
They never stop being at war with you.
Damn.
Now let's get to the goodies.
Come on.
Now this is the Geneva Convention relative to the treatment of prisoners of war. 75. UNTS 135 is...
Motherfucker, if y'all don't fucking look this shit up, if you don't do that, man, for your sake, for your children's sake, if you just sit back and just listen to this shit like you're watching some video, if you don't do some action, man, and look this up, shame on you. Shame, I say.
Enforced October 21st, 1950. Let's get an understanding of what's going on here. Part 1, General Provisions. Article 1. The high contracting parties undertake to respect and to ensure respect for the present convention in all circumstances. Article 2. In addition to the provisions which shall be implemented in peacetime. Let's go back.
Come on. Get this right for you.
Let's see. The last time there was peacetime, it was 1935 to 1940, okay? Now, we are not in any peacetime. We are still at war, okay? This country's still at war.
Okay.
All right, so in addition to the provisions which shall be implemented in peacetime, the present convention shall, and so you know what convention is.
Oh, you're going to the
early 15th century, a formal agreement.
Let's go.
It's a formal agreement.
Come on.
In addition to provisions which shall be implemented in peacetime, we are not in peacetime. The present agreement shall apply to all cases of declared war or of any other armed conflict which may arise between two or more of the high contracting parties. Right. Now, the contracting parties is the people involved in the contract, and people involved in the contract, the parties involved in the contract. Even if the state of war is not recognized by one of them. Now, guess what? You're still at war, right? But you don't recognize it. Now, let's go back.
Golly.
Since 1776, you've been at war with them. They came over, dumb diverses. All right? I'm not going to do the dumb diverses again. You should already know it. Barbary. What's Barbary? We know they're talking about a Saracen. What's a Saracen? An Afro-Asian. Okay? Look at this. Alright? U.S. occupied Spanish-held West Florida. Well, they're still fighting in 1810 with the people in Florida, right? Which was held by the Spanish. The Cumacees War, War of 1812, Seminole Wars. Who were they fighting? Who were they fighting? They came here to conquer who? Saracens. And pagans. So, if you're a pagan, which means you're not a Saracen, which means you're not Afro-Asian, you're just some other type of person in this land at the time. They've been at war with the Afro-Asian and you the other, okay? Since they got here, okay? Since they got here, they've been at war with you. But they're recognizing all the wars, right? Starting in 1776. But the war started with the dumb diverses. I'm not going to backtrack. You saw that already. Now let's go back. So now at this point, because you have been separated from your history, who you are, and you don't know what any of this means, now you need to understand, if you're an African American, you're not a Saracen. If you're a black person, you're not a Saracen. If you're a Negro, you're not a Saracen. Now let's go back to the dumb diverses, okay? Starting at the top. Let me blow this up for you guys. Dumb Diverses is a papal bull issued on the 18th of June in 1452 by Pope Nicholas and authorized Afonso of Portugal to conquer Saracens and pagans and consign them to perpetual servitude. We know Saracens is Afro-Asian, and we know pagans is anybody else caught in the land with the Saracens, right? Now, let's back up to the Columbus page again. Columbus, Nina Pinta, and Santa Maria were driven across the Atlantic by the same ill winds that from 1095 to 1272 launched 9 European crusades to capture the people of the covenant in Jerusalem. Defeated and humiliated the invaders, suffered staggering human losses, left royal treasuries depleted, and convinced Christian leaders to only pay lip service. Wow. Right? To go back and do this shit again. Wow. Listen, the covenant people in Jerusalem. Wow. They are called Saracens, and then the others, which are pagans, put them in perpetual servitude. Let's go back. Alright, so now that you're an African American, you're a black, and you're a Negro, you have no connection to your heritage. Now, transgender comes into play. Transgender comes into play at this point, right? Move forward into your heritage, your stock, your race, your group. Go into it through transgenderism, okay? Now, you're not African, you're not black, and you're not a Negro. So, even if the state of war is not recognized by one of the parties, now you're one of the parties that doesn't recognize you're still in a fucking war. Well, now you do. Now you know. The convention shall also apply to all cases of partial or total occupation of the territory. Wait a minute. The agreement shall also apply to all cases of partial or total occupation of the territory. So where they're partially there ruling your ass, or where they're fully in abundance running your ass, it applies, of the territory of a high contracting party. But we know over here in North America at the top, they talking about us. Even if the said occupation meets with no armed resistance. Well, listen. Wow. The occupation. All right. Do I got that pulled up? Oh. Let's see. Occupation. Early 14th century. Fact of holding or possessing. All right. Etymology. Occupy. To take possession of. Resistance. Make a stand against or oppose. To oppose your oppressors or occupiers. Now guess what? Even if the occupier is met with no armed resistance, well, you're not armed or attacking your oppressor in the occupation of your land. Although one of the powers in conflict may not be a party to the present convention or agreement, may not be a party to the present agreement, one of the powers, so somebody else in power in this conflict may not be a party to the present agreement, right? So somebody else can be here and not be a party to that agreement, but there be a power over top of you. The powers who are parties thereto shall remain bound by it in their mutual relations. They shall furthermore be bound by the convention in relation to the said power, if the latter accepts and applies the provisions thereof. So if you join in with the people that occupy this land, you become connected to that agreement to do the same thing they're doing to the people that they're occupying and oppressing. Article 3. In the case of armed conflict, not of an international character occurring in the territory of one of the high contracting parties, each party to the conflict shall be bound to apply as a minimum the following provisions, right? So now that we're occupied and we're the ones in resistance that are not even resistant, they are to 1. Persons taking no active part in the hostilities, including members of armed forces who have laid down their arms and those placed or is the combat by sickness, wounds, detention, or any other cause shall in all circumstances be treated humanely. Wait a minute. They did what? When Abraham Lincoln tried to set you free, right? What did they do? They said, we'll do the Emancipation Proclamation. Huh? Now understand, you are the resistance that's no longer armed because they put you down and took your history away from you. So now you're the resistance that's no longer resisting. So what are they going to do? Because they're still at fucking war. It's never ended. They're still at war. If they ever come out of war, we're not going to talk about that yet. Let's just talk about this. They're still at war. They're at war. So they're occupying this land at war. Okay? So now the Emancipation Proclamation comes out so that you can be treated humanely. Right? Now you're not black, you're not an African American, and you're not even a freaking Negro. Okay? That's what they laid on you to trick your ass into believing that you're no longer the aboriginal who has been occupied. Come on now. So now the Emancipation Proclamation comes out and you're being treated humanely without any adverse distinction founded on a race, color, religion, or faith, sex, birth, or wealth, or any of the similar criteria. Now, this is where they fucked up. This is where they fucked up. Now, they treat you humane. They do treat you humanely. So technically, you know, they give you the right to work. They give you the right to live. They give you some rights. So the Emancipation Proclamation, being a secondary citizen, they've done that part, the very minimum, right? To this end, the following acts are and shall remain prohibited at any time and in any place whatsoever with respect to the above mentioned persons. Okay, that's you, the resistance, who is no longer armed and resisting. A. Violence to life in person, in particular, murder of all kinds, mutilation, cruel treatment, and torture. Now, this is where they fucked up. Now, these things have been done to you. You, who are no longer resisting with arms, this is what they've done. Now, you gotta remember, this shit right here didn't come into effect until entered into force. 1950 is when they began to enforce this. Alright, now I don't know when they actually did it. Okay, let me see if I can find that. Year Geneva Convention was made. Let's see if we can find that, because I want to find the date. Okay. History, Red Cross approach from the First World War, progressive Geneva Conventions from 1864 to 1949. Alright, so it looks like 1864.
1864. So this jewel of a book that I just picked up, The History of the United States, J.C. Ritpath, it's published 1874 or 1876. So you see the time period of the real, like, Ayukin, you know what I'm saying? This is when it got real twisted. This Geneva Convention drops. These books are drop, but they're also trying to appease the Christians, appease the church. They can't tell these Christians that their power is coming from slaughtering Israelites. So they write books and they say, we don't know anything. Everything about you is completely obscure, but we know you guys can't be Israelites. That is absurd. That is inappropriate. It is wildly unthinkable to think that you're Israelites, but we can't tell you who you are. We can't tell you where you came from. Can't give you any dates. But it is absurd, wildly unthinkable, and inappropriate. It's inappropriate to even think about the notion that you could be sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's crazy, man. That's the hijack. It's 1800s, man. That's when you really lost the sauce. That's when it got real twisted. You've only been really twisted since about this time. Around great-grandma. Think about your great-grandma. She never told you came from Africa. She always told you about indigenous roots. Unless your great-grandma literally comes from Africa. Or that which they call Africa, right? You know what I'm saying. You know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the Negro who was almost made extinct. I'm talking to the descendants of the Maya, that which they call the Maya and the Aztec. I'm talking to the descendants of these people, the first peoples. That which they called the Anasazi. This this one's for you. Cause ain't nobody doing it for you. I ain't trying to be cool to everybody. I'm just talking to my people. Is that all right? I don't want to be popular. I don't want to be mainstream. I just want to get my people back home because when we at peace, it's beautiful, man. That's the best gift I can give to my children. It's getting and walking the hell out of this illusion of seclusion because we're not separate. But we damn sure are prisoners of war.
Alright, the Geneva Conventions compromise 4 treaties and 3 additional protocols. Oh my, I'm so freaking busy. Okay, so the Geneva Conventions, hold on. Alright, so the Geneva Conventions comprise 4 treaties and 3 additional protocols that establish the standards of international law for the humanitarian treatment in war. The singular term Geneva Convention usually denotes the agreements of 1949 negotiated in the aftermath of the Second World War, which updated the terms of the first 3 treaties of 1864, 1906, and
1864, 1940s. This is done in revised in 1940s. What else is going on in 1940s? Guys, while they're redoing the treaties of the Israelites here, that Columbus said he's coming to seize the holy city here, who do you think is here fighting for the holy city? Negro? Who are you? Why are they afraid of tribes? Why are they afraid of you connecting to Haya again? So 1947, what else is going on? You got Hitler, you got that Holocaust situation, the Ashkenazis and the Nazis, the Ashkenazis and the Nazis, the Nazis and the Nazis. And then what did he do? He says, look, I can slaughter y'all or y'all can go set up this thing with the Rothschilds called the State of Israel somewhere in the Middle East, and y'all gonna act like y'all going home back to y'all land. It's gonna be a great media thing, and we're gonna say, ooh, Jews got their land back, even though you know it's written in your books that your Mashiach is bringing you home, and you know you're not actually blood related. You know you converted at some time. This Bulan situation, these converts. So you do it more as a religion, but as a people, what are you representing in the so-called homeland? You are there physically, but you're saying it's just a spiritual concept? So who are you there physically in proxy of? And will you be judged? What's going on in the 40s with the Geneva Convention? Holocaust, 1947, the State of Israel, Geneva Convention against the real Israelites. See, they have formed a confederacy against you. They've been at war against you the whole time. They had to drop the whole time. Now, who got the drop?
1929 and added a fourth. The Geneva Convention extensively defined the basic rights of wartime prisoners, civilians, and military personnel. Now understand this. Since the bull papacy, right, you have been a wartime prisoner. Since they conquered this land, or began to occupy it. Since the pilgrims dropped ships, since these mugs start running you off your land and moving your ass all across the lands, you have been a wartime prisoner. Now here it says 1864 is when they wrote this shit, okay? Now you gotta remember, there was conflicts of interest with these people during the time because they came over here as Christian crusaders. You know, their women was already, going against what they were saying, and you had other guys out there, abolitionists, saying this shit ain't right, this shit ain't right. We're uncovering that shit right now. But look at the date. In 1864, they said, well, you know what, this shit really ain't right. Let's do something else. Now, if anybody wants to find out, look at these dates and go back and find out exactly what happened at these dates, do your work and do the video and put the shit out there. But let's get on through this. So, wartime prisoner is what your ass is, okay? You're not black, you're not African American, you're not a Negro, you're a wartime prisoner as an aboriginal to this country, alright? The war is not over, they're still at war. Now let's get back.
Let's go.
Alright, to this end, the following acts are and shall remain prohibited at any time and in any place. What they're not allowed to do as of 1950 to be enforced as of 1864. Well, they added these things, so 1864 was...
This is what they can't do to you. See, when you claim that you're black, you lose your rights, even in the Matrix. You are waking up out of the Matrix. Red pill, blue pill. You want to go back to sleep? You want to go to Africa? Assyria? Do you want to know what land you're on? Do you want to know if you're in the old world or the new? Do you want to know who to trust? This is what they can't do to wartime prisoners. You've been a wartime prisoner of the Pope since 1452 in perpetual slavery, meaning forever. Because what would an invader do when he invades the richest land? He would put you in slavery forever. Why? Because at any time slavery ends, you're going to rise up against him. So he has to keep his foot on your neck forever, because you can't wake up, because you will rise against him. Now do you see why they won't let the black man rise? Because you are invaded, black man. If you have been invaded, how would your invader ever let you rise, motherfucker? The fuck is wrong with you? If you took somebody else's shit, would you let their family rise so they can whoop your ass? Do you got some street smarts? Will you apply that shit to the Pope? He came over here, he signed the 1452 Dumbed Up verses. King James himself came over here to colonize your ass. That's in the book, History of the United States by J.C. Ritpath. The Aboriginal Times. This is what they can't do to wartime prisoners. You are a wartime prisoner, so what is your right as a wartime prisoner? Under their documentation.
Exception of the Geneva Convention. So, some of the things they're not supposed to do as of 1950?
Come on.
Let's find out.
Let's go.
They're not supposed to commit violence to life and person, in particular murder of all kinds, mutilation, cruel treatment, and torture. They broke that. Taking of hostages. Well, they can't take us hostage, but what are we finding out? They take our babies, right? Huh? Outrageous upon personal dignity, in particular humiliating and degrading treatment. They do that on TV. They humiliate your ass on public TV all the time. The passing of sentences and the carrying out of executions without previous judgment pronounced by a regularly constituted court, affording all the judicial guarantees which are recognized as indispensable by civilized peoples. They give your ass a court-appointed lawyer that don't give a fuck about the daggone case involving your ass one way or another. So they done the bare minimum on that. The wounded and sick shall be collected and cared for. They gave your ass, Medicaid, Medicare, now is what nigga ass so that when you're sick, you can go to the hospital for free. You're wartime prisoners. Since the bull papacy, dumb diverses, since they came here and began to occupy, that's why they're still at war. So they give you what? Medicaid, food stamps, shelter, the basic things necessary to live. That's why they will not let you rise up in this country, because they are occupying this country and they cannot allow you to take your country back. An impartial humanitarian body such as the International Committee of the Red Cross may offer services to the parties to the conflict. FEMA, right? Think about this shit. When the shit went down in Hurricane Katrina, Red Cross came out to help, right? They have to do that. The parties to the conflict should further endeavor to bring into force by means of special agreements, all or part of the other provisions of the President